Fifth grade, today is the day where you are going to design where your floating 1-point perspective boxes are going to be within your picture plane. So we've already decided what our picture is going to look like. We know what's going in box 1 and what's in box 2. We know what's connecting them. We've had practice with our 1-point perspective forms floating around in space. With the worksheet that you did last week, but I picked and I chose where the boxes were. This time you get to pick and choose where your boxes are going to be and how many you're going to want to do. So before we start, like always, please put your first name, your last name, and your class code. If you don't remember what your class code is, it's written up in the front of the classroom on the board. Okay, you have 6 that you can do. Get as many as you can get done today, done. Just like our gesture drawings at the end of class today, just star the one that's best. If you spend your whole class time only doing one, you only have one to choose from. If you have 2, now you can decide, well, which one ended up turning out better. So the more you get through during class, the more choices you have on picking the one that you like best. So in the middle of your table, you're going to notice that you have a big green rectangle and a small green square. So the rectangle is going to be your box 1 and your box 2. Whatever it is that you're choosing to draw, we want to go ahead and take up that space on our paper right away. So this box can go anywhere and be turned in any direction. And I'm just going to keep mine simple right now. So let's say I know that I want the start of my object to be in this lower left-hand corner. Okay, this is going to be my box number 1. And then I need to know, where is this going to end? And it can be, on the right-hand side, close to the center, but obviously the further away they are, the longer your connection part is going to be. So I'm going to keep mine simple for right now. And I'm going to go from corner to the opposing diagonal corner. And this is going to be my box 2. So my image is going to be printed off in these 2 spots for this one. And again, when I go on to my second one, if I want to reverse them and do my box 1 over here, my box 2, I can see what that's going to look like. I can go from high, middle to low. I mean, these boxes can go anywhere. Because this is our main subject, we don't want these to be going off the paper at all. Okay, this is your image. It's the most important thing that we're going to be doing, so we want to make sure that it's not being cut off. Once you have those 2 in place, now you'll take your square, and just like the squares that we practiced with in our worksheets last week, you're going to be able to move these anywhere. Obviously, you don't want to go in box 1 or box 2, but these can go off the paper. Okay. Our projects usually have an easy, a medium, and a hard version. And there's not going to be a whole lot of variance for this, but let's do this. If you want to do easy, do 3 boxes. Okay, don't do less than 3 boxes. It wouldn't make a whole lot of sense, and it wouldn't show the skill that you built of learning 1-point perspective. So if you are going to do easy, 3 is the lowest. If you're going to do medium, do 4. And if you're going to do hard, do 5. I don't believe you're going to be able to get more than 5 boxes in here without having them on top of each other. So easy 3, medium 4, and then hard will be 5. So once you decide what you're going to do, I'm going to keep mine simple for this first one just to see how it goes and what it looks like. So I'm going to do 3 boxes, and I can put them anywhere. Again, it's okay if these boxes go off the paper, but please remember, this is no longer a practice. When we're done with this, you're picking one of these to be printed out on the sheet of paper that we're going to be doing the size of our project. So I just did box 1. I'm going to go ahead I just did box 1, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do box 2. So maybe I'll move him over here. And my box number 3. And again, it's okay if your boxes are off the paper. Just like before, we're going to take our corners that we can see, and we are going to connect the dots. I'm going to connect my dots with my focal point. So with a straight edge ruler, I'm going to line up this dot with the middle dot. And again, I want to draw very lightly. And again, if you're having trouble drawing lightly, hold further back on the pencil and then you'll get less pressure. So I'll connect, I'll move my ruler, I'll line up my dots, and I'll do one more. And again, if it's hard to see my lines, that's a good thing because that means it'll be easy for me to erase. So once you have your points going to your focal, then we're going to go ahead and we're going to decide, well, how long do I want this to be? So it's okay to slide your paper if it makes more sense. So last week I told kids that it's best to start lined up with your square, and then you can push your ruler straight, keeping it parallel. We want the ruler to be going in the same direction as my square. So once I have that lined up, I'll go ahead and draw my straight line. And then I need to do the same so that I have a front, a side, and a top. So I'll do the same thing up here on the top. I'll start level with my square, and I'm going to push up until I reach where I started on the side. So that way the top of my box and the side of my box line up. I can make my line darker now inside of my box. And I can go ahead and erase the remaining lines. You're going to go ahead and you're going to do this to all 3, 4, or 5 boxes. So once all of your boxes are drawn in, you like their locations, Now we decide where we are going to have our objects go through. Like, what is the route? So how is box 1 going to connect with box 2? So in my box 1, if my item is going to go out the top, I'm going to go ahead and just draw a reference line so that I know I'm going to connect my box 1 with this first box, and it has to move throughout the box. So if it's going to enter this box, I'm going to go ahead and draw a circle. I can fill it in because it's shadow, and I know that it's going to go in to my box here. Now we have to decide, where is it going to exit? Is it going to exit out the side or the bottom? And you can't really see any holes on the side, so I'm actually going to just draw an oval so that it's coming out of the bottom of my box. So it went into my box in the front, but now it's going to come through the bottom. Okay. It's going to wind down into this box. And I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing. I'm going to have it come in the front. They kind of look like dice with only one. I'll fill it in. And I'm going to have it come out the side. So the main thing here is, where is it going to enter the box and then make a hole? Where is it going to exit the box? So this one, I don't see the sides. I only see the front and the bottom. So that kind of shows the direction that it's going to go. Here, I could have went in the top and then out the front, but my top was kind of small. I didn't want to try getting in an oval there. So I thought it made more sense for me to have it go in the front and out on the side. And I have one more box for it to go through. So I'm going to do a circle on the side and have it come up and in. And I'm going to have it exit out of the front into box number 2. So now I know the direction I'm going to be going through, how it's going to enter the box, how it's going to leave the box, and how it's going to go into box number 2. Now, before you start working on your second, your third, your fourth, you have to ask yourself, what do you think about this? What do you think about the way that you place your boxes? There's an awful lot of empty space in mine that I don't really like. So I could do one of two things. On the next one, if I want to stay with 3 boxes, I could move my number 2 box over a little bit so that it is taking away some of this negative spot. It doesn't need to be so close to the edge. And the same thing with my 1. I could easily just move this up and over, and it's going to fill more of my space. Or maybe I'm going to decide, you know what? Maybe 3 boxes was pretty easy. Maybe for the next one, I want to try and see what 4 is, and I can move this box over and add another one here. This is your time to really figure out, what do I want my project to look like? What's easiest for me? What am I going to be happy with? And then that way, when we leave class today, you're turning in a project that I can go ahead and prep for you. So that way, next class, you can go ahead and just start decorating with colored pencil. So again, once you're done with box 1, go ahead and do box 2. Move your 1 and 2 around. Move your 3 boxes around. See how many you can get done today. And then at the end of class, you'll go ahead and you'll put a star next to the one that you want me to go ahead and print off for you. Good luck.